We good?
I think so.
I didn't see much gain. Oh, there we go.
Gain, insane to the mem gain.
Now, something to scream about.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Something to Scream About.
If you didn't catch the drift.
Hello.
Yes. This is episode 17.
17.
Wow.
17.
Really?
On my left. Yeah, 17.
And it's different band members every time.
Yeah. There's new faces every time on the couch. On my left, Zach.
Roll the
On
dice.
my further
Who are you
left.
gonna get?
On further left is Cam.
Me.
Yes.
I'm far left politically.
Oh my goodness.
I don't
Oh
even know
my
what that means.
goodness. Well, yes. Hello, welcome to the show. This is it's been a while. It's been a month. There's been a few changes. Let's go through some housekeeping. Housekeeping. Where have we been? Well, we've finally finished the EP. The EP is finished, signed,
All
sealed,
8
delivered.
songs down to 4.
Let's Project 2!
Yes, it's it's been finally finished. The reduced amount of songs is finally finished. We signed and sealed
Mixed
and
and
delivered.
mastered and
Yeah.
sent to labels to be discriminated against.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back to us and be like, no,
Yeah, we don't know.
sucks,
It might
pretty
might
much.
come back positive. It might never come back. So we've got to wait and see.
Yeah.
But
But
anyway,
it's done.
it's done and it feels bloody great.
Feels really
Let's
good.
be
2
honest.
singles are in the works. Pretty much done as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have, I reckon by the end of the year, we'll have 2 singles out.
Yes,
Singles in the area.
that's actually written down on my list. Thanks for covering that.
Whoops. Too early.
No, that's good. It's not too early.
Premature fucking reveal.
Yes. So new singles now at mixing stage, and then another one on the way. That's what I had written down. Done.
Right, done.
Tick that off.
Tick it off.
We've also got a stack of footage from filming the documentary stage of the whole thing. So from start to finish, obviously, if you've listened to the podcast, you'd be aware already that we filmed a lot of it. But if you don't listen to it and this is your first episode, welcome to Something to Scream About. Anyway, we filmed the whole thing and we're starting to go through the clips and put together the documentary. That's about as far as it's got so far because we're musicians, not video editors.
Yeah.
So give us some time.
Very candid mobile phone recordings. It's
Yeah.
not like we paid some dude with a nice camera and camera angles and lighting and stuff. It's
That
just
would be
like-
really cool. That is the end goal.
That it would be the next project now that we're
Mm.
like remembering that we should do that.
Get
Yeah.
a camera.
So
Yeah.
if anyone wants an internship, just send
non-paid.
into
Non-paid.
send into volunteerwork at distortedviews.com. So
Not a real website.
also another person who is missing from the couch is Matt. Matt has sadly left us.
Couldn't handle the jandle.
Couldn't handle the jandle. No, it's just a matter of this is how it is with bands and finding groups and working with people and commitments and balancing all of the things. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. So sad to see you go, Maddie, but
Just took photos too.
yeah, so
Just took photos.
now we're back to get the scissors out.
Now we have to Photoshop them out.
Yeah.
No. But now we're looking for a guitarist, so we can announce that. I don't know if anyone who is a guitarist is listening to this, but if you're in the Brisbane, Gold Coast or Sunny Coast areas,
Yeah.
come on, hit us up,
Join
guys.
us.
Yep.
Join
And
us.
keep
Fun
listening
to
to
be
this,
around.
this broken record that we keep asking for a guitarist.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great news that we're now a solid 3 and that ain't gonna change anytime soon unless you kick me out the band.
That's next week.
That's next podcast.
Yeah.
Next podcast, he's not here.
Moving on quickly to just a couple of things I wanted to talk about that I've sort of found out recently that I thought was really interesting. Shazam,
Yes.
like the app, for those who don't know, the app on your phone that you press and it just basically listens to whatever you're listening to and can tell you what the song is within a few seconds, right? Most of the time.
Pretty crazy technology.
Yeah. First random fact about them. Did you know that they started out as a service where you would literally send in a snippet of the song that you wanted to do before the app, and they'd take it away for a couple of days and then all their team would try and figure out what the hell it is and then send the result back to you like a few days later.
That seems like so hard.
Yeah. But we used to download one song and it took 4 hours on our dial-up internet. So
Do you remember like
Things-
LimeWire and shit?
yeah.
Virus wire.
Virus
Mom,
wire.
I ruined the family computer Trying
Yeah.
to download
iTunes,
Linkin
you know.
Park.
That's right.
Puppet,
You
yeah.
try and download, like a song or a movie, and then halfway through you realize it's the wrong one, or it's like
Burn
not good
CDs.
quality, or yeah. So basically, yeah, they started out like that, but now Apple, being the giant tech conglomerate that they are,
Apple
with
Master Race.
all-reaching arms, has bought Shazam, and now you can ask Siri what song this is, and Siri will tell you what song it is.
Shit.
And it'll then bring it up for you in Apple Music, the convenient,
Of
nice
course.
channel down into
Apple
Apple
Music.
Music.
I
So
love Apple Music.
honestly, I'm surprised that they hadn't done it sooner, because that just seems like the most obvious thing. I thought they were just going to do their own thing, but obviously they didn't know the technology and they just kind of stole Shazam's idea. But I thought that was a pretty interesting bit of news, because I
Good
now can
time.
ask that, because I can't be bothered with Shazam sometimes. So
I know
It's easy.
it's crazy that that Shazam thing can even like use an AI. I would assume it's an AI that listens to the audio file. It'd be the same. I think it'd be the same technology that is used for copyright. But so instead of having like an actual lawyer have to manually like take their time to listen to a song, they usually go through like an AI that'll listen to like copyright snippets of audio when like might even happen in this podcast later on when you see what we're doing. But like it'll play it, and then if it's got copyright on it, it'll be like, hey, this song's copyrighted by this label or whatever. It's probably the same technology.
that's
right?
very true, and
Trippy.
which
How
doesn't
do they do
even
that?
I don't know. Well, YouTube's is amazing. It's
YouTube
content
will,
ID.
Yeah, well, like like slice that straight away. Like,
Yeah, so I don't see why not. That seems like the type of technology they'd use. But yeah,
There you
that was an interesting one. Another thing that I keep getting excited for, because I keep seeing the tickets up on my shelf, is Good Things Festival
Oh,
at the
I'm
end
so
of the year.
keen.
we're all going to that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I still
Yeah.
got to give you money for that.
We'll
Yeah.
go. We'll go
November.
together.
But anyway,
That's gonna be sick.
it's going to be sick, because not only is Bring the Horizon and a couple of other sort of
Deftones, man.
relevant bands, but yeah, like things like people like
Far
Deftones
out.
coming back, and
I'm gonna
Gojira,
like
who
try and literally pace myself for that, because I actually want to genuinely like
Remember the
from
night.
the last podcast you guys would know if you listen to the Eden's Hill one, like. Yeah, like these are bands that I would actually genuinely like to fucking see. So I'm definitely not going to get wrecked for this.
as
this-
opposed to North Lane, who you still definitely want to see as well. But
yeah,
that was
I
a
saw
practice
North
run.
Lane, but I didn't see North Lane. If you get my drift,
Yeah,
I was
that's-
there, but I wasn't there.
that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's true. I just thought that it's such a massive festival, and it's cool to see international bands coming and actually putting Australia in again, because we were being missed out for a long time due to how much it was costing festivals to fly guys out here. This is before, all the garbage going on, but they would actually have to fork out, especially things like 2-day festivals where you've got not only one day of artists, but a whole nother day of artists, which is double the money expenditure, but guys are only paying an extra $50 on a ticket. So it's rather than $120 day one, it's $160 2-day festival, and they're only making a little bit extra money. But yeah, they're starting to bring in some big bands. Can't imagine what their fees would be like for that festival. It'd be absolutely insane.
It's been like 3 years since Bring Me's come back. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
keen to see it. That was my first ever concert.
that's
So-
so
What do you
cool.
reckon? What hotels do you reckon they're staying in? I'm just talking off the fly here, because now I'm just like, 'cause when I was just a fan and not in a band myself, that doesn't even cross my mind. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, they're coming to Brisbane, cool, we'll watch them play. But now that I'm in a band and I'm like
It's like-
trying to do touring, I'm like, they're gonna be staying somewhere. Like,
Where can we throw our USB through the window?
just like
Yeah.
throw it through,
Listen
like
to our band, man.
get one of those T-shirt cannons, but it's just shooting mixtapes. Like fucking.
I'm
through-
down to like elbow through all the 14-year-old
f-
girls to get to Ollie Sykes, just to
Oh, I
give him
fucking
our
love
music on
Follow
some-
like if we follow their socials, you could probably like use the background like what's it called? Is it a monument? What's the architecture that you see in the background? Whatever that word is.
like for their backdrops and stuff.
No. Like how, like if he's filming himself on a balcony, he's like, hey, you
Oh,
can tell, like,
yeah.
oh, that's that building. That's next to this train station. Therefore, he's in that apartment. Just full stalking.
Actually,
triangulate everything.
that's a great idea.
Oh fuck. But that'd be sick. Like, I doubt they'd be. Oh, they might be sleeping in the van, in the trucks. Depends how much money you're making.
Well,
I mean,
just
if
think
you-
about them. They just headlined Reading and Leeds, which is one of the most massivest festivals in England. And their set design and, pyro and all of the above is, 7 or 8
carry all
truckloads.
that on their tour bus, and they just go.
Well, there's one bus for them, one bus for the crew, one for the pyro.
You have to
one
be getting
for the,
paid so much money to cover all those expenses.
That's exactly my point about how much it's costing to get all these massive bands and their whole tour rigs
Yeah.
out to Australia in hotels, expensive hotels
that,
with all their gear and everything.
So that would be that. Like how many tickets would be on sale would have to be thousands. Like it must be a massive, massive show we're going to. Where's it at?
Showgrounds, I think.
Showgrounds.
Yeah.
That's that massive hill, right? Like in the
Yeah.
city somewhere. It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
freaking massive.
Yeah,
glass
it's where they
house.
hold the Echo.
Yeah.
So it is massive, and they might sell 150,000 tickets
Woo!
It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
times
cover it.
150 or whatever it is.
I heard the
200.
sort of users playing on that. So.
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
with no
leaked.
guitarist.
Yeah.
Just rock up there with his DJ, just press play.
Yeah, plug our
Fuck, I'll play our
Laptop
shit.
in.
I'll go to the fucking all the porty. What the fuck are they called? The toilets.
Portal is.
Those ones.
That's a great
And just
idea.
have like a speaker just playing like distorted views.
Let's get stickers done with a QR code on it, and then all you have to say is, "This is the best song you've ever heard." Arrow, and it's a QR code, and people at the festival will scan it, and it will go to our music.
done.
Done.
If we get any fans from that festival, you'll think it's a brilliant idea.
All right.
Beautiful.
If we get arrested for putting stickers everywhere, it wasn't my idea. But yeah, anyway, so that'll be fun at the end of the year. But that's after I go away for a month.
Yay.
And as you can see, we're dropping like flies around here. So the next thing we need is someone else to disappear for a month, and productivity levels are going to soar. So I thought maybe I could just sort of brainstorm with you guys now how we might adapt to one member, a few members, or whatever, going on tour, going away, whatever life happens.
You just have to figure out the time zone would be the first one. So if you're in UK, you'd just work out UK to Australian time zone, and when you can talk to me, when I can talk to you ahead of time. And then
we'd probably
I
just
think-
have like sort of, Zoom catch up.
do you
whatever.
bring in your laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the good thing about today's technology is that majority of stuff is on this little computer that you bring around. Like, if my computer ever got caught in a fire and blew up, like that's it. Game
Yeah,
over. I'm starting
yeah.
from scratch. Like,
True.
I really should get a backup hard drive. That's been telling me for years.
Write that down.
I still haven't done it. But we got that technology to be able to just go back and forth. So I think regards to like people, life getting in the way and commitments, and whether it be a holiday or whether you might just be, going away for work or whatever, there's no reason to have to put everything on hold, like music wise. If you guys are committed, you just have to sort of be a bit organized and just be like, okay, well, I'll be in this time zone. So that's like 9 o'clock for me might be, 6 o'clock for you, whatever the time zone difference may be.
It's just a little bit more organization.
Yeah, but it's not like
whoever's
impossible.
leaving. It's a tiny bit more organization. It's not that much. You just have to figure out what time zone you're in, how many hours behind or ahead you are, and
then homework. I think homework's always a really good thing too. That's what we've been doing for freaking over a year now, and it works, man. It's just everyone goes, "Oh, Zach, these are your lyrics, bro. Here's the backing track. Is there anything you need from us?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, dude, I need the instrumental with Cam's like flow or whatever on it, and then an instrumental without Cam, so you could do a cover at home." Bang, then that's your homework. And then be like, "All right, Cam, you gotta, mix this riff or re-record the guitars for that, or do this," and then you might have drum MIDI to do or whatever it is. It's like having things set in advance on either on a whiteboard like we have over there, or just like on a notepad somewhere. Like, it helps, man, because it constantly gives everyone the direction of what they need to be doing and where we're going, and it stops things from becoming so like, yeah, man, we'll just hang out, man, like, whatever, like, and if you guys are in bands, listen to this, that it's freaking like that. So many people just want to hang out and just sort of play around, and it's not.
We're for that too. We're all for people hanging out and having fun.
Yeah. Once the
we're a
music's
team.
done.
But we got to work here too. Like, we've got to work hard. We've got to practice and do our
that's right.
stuff.
Yeah.
But you're not here to just be miserable either. You got to have fun.
That's right.
It's a balance
It's a
of
good
both.
balance of both sides. Like,
And most people can't handle it when it gets a bit businessy or a bit fucking like, come on, let's go. Like, you got to learn that part, and people tend
Yeah.
to break under that pressure. But then it's also like, do you want to just play around in the bedroom fucking for years at a time, or do you want to go try and tour to play at this damn festival that we've got at the end of the year?
Yeah,
This is what you got to do to get there, man. Woo!
That's very true. I think like if you do wait until rehearsals when you're all together just to get anything done, you're never gonna move as fast as if everyone's kind of doing all these things.
There's so many hours in the day, man. There's so many, and like the biggest thing I think people mistake it in as well is that you have to put in hours and hours of work in one block. If you put in half an hour, but it's every day, you know, that's going to half an hour, then it's an hour, then it's an hour and a half, then it's 2 hours. And by the end of the week, you've put in 3-4 hours worth of solid work, you know, instead of just waiting all the way until you play. And then it's like you only get like 1 hour of solid work and then you're holding everyone else back because you're not up to standard or something.
I do a similar routine where in the drive home and drive back, I'll do, 10 minutes of practice. And then if I really, I memorize songs by doing my own cover of it, which I've explained to you before. I'll go practice it, listen to it, hear it, understand it, so I have a rhythm of it. Then I'll go home, actually make a cover myself, which most people probably wouldn't like to do because it's a lot of work. I enjoy it, and that's why I do it. And it also, it makes me able to listen to it and hear it and understand.
Yeah, hearing it back is huge too.
And it's my own voice as well. I understand my own voice and what I'm saying.
That was one of the things I learned with rapping was like, you think you got this rap flow in your head and then you record it and you go, oh shit, that sounded like nothing to what I thought it sounded like. And then you got to rework it a bit. And
I think it's just your own voice as well. Like, I think hearing yourself do it is different. But as far as, if someone's away, it's just a matter of a little bit more routine and a little bit more organization. There's not much more difference to what you're doing here.
Yeah, you'd find time too, man. Like you'll be in fucking, where you going again? UK?
Yeah.
UK, so like, let's say you're seeing family over there or whatever you're doing, and then you might go to bed at, not go to bed, but you might be like chilling in the hotel room or wherever you're at like 9 o'clock at night. You've gone out and had dinner, and you've done your things. You might just have like 45 minutes before you go to bed. You just open up the laptops.
That's exactly it.
Like,
it's just down to discipline for myself as well. And and just getting that time in. I'll be doing obviously little bits of practice. I'm taking sticks and just kind of, keeping my hands moving and doing stuff.
That's all it takes as well.
And then, just kind of catching up with you guys each week and seeing where we're at, what needs doing, what you need from me, and kind of go from there, I reckon.
Done.
That sounds sick.
Next topic.
Well, we're moving on to our main topic, actually, which is basically our favorite parts or our favorite bits in songs from metal songs that we really like and stuff that we really kind of catches our attention for whatever reason. I was thinking more specifically with guitar riffs, but, obviously being a drummer, I listen a lot for the drum parts as well. So I think the combination of everything makes a part really
There's a lot
sick.
of riffs that I like that the only reason why, not the only reason, but like a big part of the reason why I like the riff is because the drums complement the riff so much.
Yeah.
Like a song I was going to include on this, but we're only picking 2 each. But if I had to put the third one on, it's a Wage War one. And the way the drums are set with the accents on the way the riff's changing, it's like power chord notes. It's like the riff and the drums slap together. They're like glue, and it's like that's what makes it bouncy.
I totally agree. Yeah, so and I think that's kind of what I mean with the concept of favorite part. So yeah, I'd basically ask these guys to pick 2 parts from different songs that they thought were sick, and just to have a think about why they are, and then we'll just go play a couple and sort of
let's get it.
Let's get this bread.
Let's get it.
Well, you're up first, Zaki boy. You've got the first one. Let's listen to it. It's from North Lane's
Obsidian album, and it's called Obsidian.
Yeah, so the Obsidian song. We'll listen to it, and then you can explain it.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The drums in that is so just
Oh.
like you're like, there's the net. Wait, no, it isn't. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful, man. The best way I can explain it is, Northlane just have such an experimental taste or sound. To me, that is like the most like traditional metal sound that they've done in that album, specifically, and it's very reminiscent to my favorite song of theirs, which is Talking Heads.
Yeah.
And they, to me, it just sounded like they used very similar tuning or tones to that. But I just love how hard hitting it sounds. Not necessarily the drums, but the guitar riff, it just hits hard. But like you said, the drums complement it.
Yeah, they really do.
Marcus's voice, his lower sound is awesome too.
Powerful
it's just an
as shit, eh?
insane song. It makes you just go like the stained face. It's just like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,
It really
what the
does."
fuck?" It's one of those ones, and every time I hear it without failure, I mosh almost in the car. I'm just like,
I think for me,
fuck.
like sort of breaking it down a little bit, what makes it so heavy is from a timing point of view, it's a 3/4, 3/2
it's such a
thing.
complicated.
A 1 2 3
Yeah.
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 that kind of
it's an
feel.
interesting
But
riff.
it's like straight time though as well.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
it's the 3/2, so you're doing six notes kind of over your 4-beat space. And you know they're playing around with that kind of rhythm, but that's the feel of it.
I just like like it's not complicated, but it sounds like just different to what
Yeah,
they do.
because it gives it a dotted note feel.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
like how
cool.
they do the way that they mix the guitars is very like they make it seem like a Reese bass. It's like if you had taken the EDM aspect out of it, it sort of sounds like a Reese bass going like, but then they actually play that with the guitars like bam, but dump, dump, bam, dump, dump, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's like. I don't know. It's like they've heard EDM and gone, "Oh, I'll just play that with an actual instrument."
It's got movement. A lot of EDM
It's like
basses have
liquid.
movement.
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
wow, one
And I
vowels.
sliding, and they do a lot of bends with the notes as like with the
Yeah.
strings as well to make it go. Rah. It's cool.
I've heard that song live too, and oh my god, the crowd just go insane.
I've probably heard it live. I just
They
don't
didn't play
remember.
it. They didn't play it at Full Tilt.
Oh, there you go.
They played it on their Obsidian tour.
That's so sick.
Uh,
This guy was at Full Tilt, and he wasn't in the band yet.
No,
How cool's that? We were also at Full Tilt,
yeah.
and it's just like
Yeah,
future band member was just in the crowd.
I'm
cocked an
everywhere,
elbow
man.
from us. No. Let's listen to it again one more time and just kind of listen back to what we were saying about those elements. Why is it not playing?
I mean, there's a little like
There we go.
second gap,
Oh, okay.
maybe.
It's because it's a Mac.
Maybe play.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Disobey.
We only need once.
Oh, here we go.
Woo!
Filth.
Thrash.
That is just pure filth. The energy in that song, it's
Who is
Chris-
it?
Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake.
So it's that song called Disobey.
They're such a good band.
They're mainly a metalcore band, but they have songs that are just elements of just pure, just hellish deathcore
Like that.
themes, and that song is just pure evil. I just love the fast energy. It's a mosh song. It makes people just want to go into all the deaths, circle pits, everything. The drums are just insane. The blast beats. The riff isn't that crazy, but it's just low. The tuning's low. It follows the drum riff to make it like a party almost element to it, but it's just pure, just evil. I love Crystal Lake, man. They've just got some awesome stuff, but that song just stands out to me, just with the elements of heavy.
They're crazy live too. I don't even know how they play so technical because they like literally jump, spin, kick their legs in the air, but they're playing like really technical riffs. I'm like, how are you doing that and moving like that? It's so impressive.
I had a great opportunity to see them when they toured with Polaris in 2019.
Wow.
Just before COVID. It was insane. He jumped off the balcony, Rio, the vocalist, and he just gets into the crowd. He does not care. He loves to have fun as well as play.
Take note, Zach.
Not jumping off any balconies. Maybe.
You dropping on a skateboard off the.
Oh
That's
yes, skateboarding.
Sweet.
That one's cool. Yeah, I like that one. Simply just for the fact that it's matching up all the 16th notes, low tones, low vocals, smashing out. It's like a button smash, really. It's like, just smash out all the buttons as much as you can, every move. Okay, my one's next. The first one is Born of Osiris from Poster Child. One of the drops about halfway through, I think. So it comes in after the chorus.
Sick.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the propaganda 13-0 that we play. But obviously they're way better. But
yeah, for me, man, like I think there's a few elements that really make that riff and the whole section for me. First of all is dynamics. So coming out of that chorus and coming into that really sort of sucked out guitar sound that's like you can hear the riff coming.
Yeah, the radio telephone
so
effect.
it's radioed out.
Pre-visioning the next section.
And then it comes in this big sweep and hits hard with the drop. That's cool, like dynamic change between the two.
Really tightly on the grid too, which is just sounds so cool when it's just like
these guys are one of those bands that are very much so like produced and heavy and on the beat and on the grid. Like that's all good. It sounds sick. But also those sort of little runs of 5 or 6 notes or 4s, and when they go, the diddles and stuff is what I call it. They've just got heaps of these that still fit on the offbeat, but give it that bouncy feel.
Yeah, they're doing that. They've got enough. Repetition in it to give it the repetitive like vibe for the like we just keep repeating the same notes, but they're still throwing in the little like riffs and runs at the end, like it was like like right before it looped back around. So it wasn't like there was like 013 and only on 013. Like they were putting in other notes in between as well, which I thought was really sick. So it gives it that bit of like dynamics as well, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. One of my favorites, definitely slaps that one. Second one for me is from Avenged Sevenfold, a fair few years ago now. This song is called Scream and has this sort of scream intro and then drops into this. I'll give you a brief as to why I like it first is because I'm a drummer and this is a really hard drum beat to play, and that's kind of the main reason. But the sort of funkiness to it with the guitars coming in and then coming back out again as stabs really kind of works for me. And I think it's kind of our style too. Yeah, so
sick.
Obviously, like, there's these guitar runs in there that are sick. And
it sounds like the guitars are talking. That's the vibe. Like
saying something, yeah.
It's like the guitar's talking to you, and it's cool. It's unique.
Cool
it's
in response and kind of just dual guitars. I mean, they have 2 guitarists in the band, so that's their call and response. They go dun together and do a run.
Wouldn't that be nice? I'd love to have dual guitars. I'm just gonna have my guitar with left hand and my guitar right hand, just trying to play 2 different parts.
Yeah, that's right. But in that song as well, like the drums and the kick drum pattern is matching the bass. So in our songs, like we've done it a couple of times where it's just sort of cuts to bass and drums and has these guitar hits in it. And that sort of really reminds me of that element. So really love that one. Cam?
Sick.
You've got 2 examples. I don't know which one's which, but you're going to have to tell me what it is afterwards.
Just play it and I'll talk about it afterwards.
Just play it.
It's just like a scream.
Yeah.
Wow!
Yes.
There it is. So you can obviously tell where my influence comes from with the new riffs that aren't even released yet, but that's very similar to the new stuff I've been playing on guitar. Yeah, so many reasons, man. So that's obviously a Thornhill track, and it's like I like it because it's very 90s new metal bouncy. It gives me Limp Bizkit break stuff type vibes. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Yeah.
And then you just like jumping. But then they're throwing in these, what I would call gent, you can call it whatever you want, metalcore, prog metal, frickin' whatever. But I just put it under gent as a blanket term of the high octave where you play the root note open and then you go 12 semitones up and then you do the hammer on, hammer off and sort of go up and down the scale. And then you go straight back down to the lowest open and then you play that with palm mutes, then the harmonic as well. And you're just throwing in all these techniques that by themselves are easy techniques, but when you play them back to back to back to back, it just gives the riff so much dynamics and different. I don't know. You got the same. It's the same thing as almost like the riff that you played. It's like
different textures and sort of elements that make it something cool.
Yeah, it's just the rhythm of the bounce, 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 and you're just like, oh.
Thornhill tend to have that very adventurous sound to it too. Like, if you've listened to their Dark Boy album, it's very curious to me with all the ambient sounds and their
so much layering and stuff. It's sick.
It's so sick, but it makes you like feel an emotion of question. Like it makes you want to raise a question.
They're very atmospheric.
What are they searching or what are they talking about? It's just the skill they have to do that. Especially for me, to make me feel that way.
They do a lot of layering, atmospheric stuff. Like you hear even their acapellas. They've released their acapellas on YouTube, and it's like holy crap! Like the acapella themselves is a song within itself. Like the way that the vocals fade in and then fade out, and they have these really long tails. It's almost I wouldn't be surprised if they put one of their layers through an actual guitar pedal. Like a vocal through a guitar
distortion pedal or something.
Just to see what it does. I think there's like a space pedal or something you can get on the guitar that like makes a really ambient stuff. It's probably been run through one of those. But yeah, so that's that. That's just my sort of style, new metal vibe. The next song's New Metal Worlds.
I want to just touch on that song quickly. What I really like about that, listening to it, because I don't know that song hugely well. I've heard it before, but that riff is constantly changing as well. So like you have the sort of feel to it, and then when you think it's going to repeat, it changes direction. I reckon I'm going to play it one more time so you can just listen for that.
Here comes, ready? Yes. 12 and 13 and 0, baby.
That's what I meant. Like the second time around, it just goes into this bit that you're not expecting. Very cool. So next one, do you know what the next one's called? Who it's by?
Yeah, it's Korn. Play it. Walking away from me.
Great song.
Something takes a part of me. Ding, 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 ding. So, just what I grew up on, really. That sort of stuff, man. Just, I don't know. It's like the octave stuff. Just dun, 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 and then dissonant notes. And again, for me, I was a dancer growing up. Ever since I was a kid, just hip hop dancing, break dancing, all that stuff. So I think movement for me is really important. Like, can I dance to this? Can I jump and bounce and groove to it? It's like that's why my rapping is so like ba da ba ba da ba da ba ba. Like I like to rap really like sporadically and staccato-y and like the pauses and the stops. I think that's why gent is really fascinating to me new metal, just bouncy, just stuff you can jump to and dance to. So that's why that riff sticks out to me.
That's awesome, man. Well, sort of to sort of round that all off, I guess, like with all of these different elements, like they're all coming from different tastes, and as you can see, we all have different interests and influences that have come in through all of this music and parts that we find cool, and you know, we might not find each other's ones cool, even though all of that was sick. Bringing that together and then being able to kind of choose all of these elements and creatively put them into a place to work for a riff is quite challenging. So when it's done right, it's cool to be able to highlight and kind of go through what makes these riffs really cool. And then as you do, I know, Cam, take those elements and then develop them into our own sound and our own way of doing things. So
it's mad.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be a cool little exercise to kind of show off some parts. Of
it definitely
songs that
showed,
we
like, even though that was riffs and it was all metal and it was all the same genre, I think just what we picked, not knowing what each other was going to pick, like that's pretty sick. Because it's like it just like even the song you picked, the like it's just such a Jordan thing. Like, it's just such a like it's just makes sense. And mine's like predictable of me, and then and Zach's predictable of him too.
Mine's very
like,
predictable.
It's so just like, it's just like it's cool though. Like we all are in the same genre, but for slightly different reasons, almost. Like it's
for sure.
mad.
So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. If you enjoyed the episode, share it around, leave us a review, do all the good stuff. It helps us out.
If you're a guitarist, join the band.
Join the band.
And on that note, thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.